Kyle Pitts, who with his hamstring has been ruled out Sunday against Tampa Bay. America's nightmare continues.
Well, will they be able to tell?
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts won't play in this game just like he hasn't in the first 4 games. I mean, the jokes write themselves. I mean, come on, right? Just like, how will you tell? Right? You'll open up the box score on Monday. Oh no, Kyle Pitts. Oh. Okay, it's another Sunday.
Yes.
It's just another NFL Sunday.
On to breakfast.
Here's the positives. It's pretty much like every week of the NFL season, but the positives is that we know on Friday not to play Kyle Pitts as opposed to on Monday. The previous 4 weeks, we knew on Monday that we shouldn't have played Kyle Pitts on Sunday. But now, at least on Friday, we know that Kyle Pitts is out. No one is cheering on injury. Of course, it's a hamstring injury. We hope Kyle Pitts gets better. This is not on Kyle Pitts. This is on Marcus Mariota. This is on Arthur Smith. This is on the entire Falcons staff. We love Kyle Pitts here. Free Kyle Pitts and get better Kyle Pitts. What this means, though, Jay Croucher, is that you're starting to look for a tight end. I'll give you a couple of guys. The highest-rated tight end that I have that's available in more than 50% of Yahoo leagues is Tyler Conklin, who's available in 59%, 8 or more targets in 3 of the 4 games through the 4 weeks. He's a top 8 fantasy tight end. And I believe, as we've talked about with Miami, really good corner play. So what do? You go towards the middle of the field. I think Tyler Conklin would be sort of my number 1 choice. My next choice is
Logan Thomas?
Of course it's Logan Thomas. Of course it's Logan Thomas. Look, he's had 5 or more targets in 3 out of 4 games so far this year. Logan Thomas is available in basically 80% of Yahoo leagues. And look, I mean, the Titans' defense doesn't scare you. Through the first 4 weeks of the season, they're 28th against the pass. We know that Tennessee's going to be able to move the ball against Washington because the Commanders' defense is 24th against the pass. Yes. They're brutal too. So they were going to have to throw in this game. Give me some Logan Thomas as well. Hayden Hurst, I think, is a viable option. Hayden Hurst has 5 receptions in 2 of 4 games here. We expect a lot of fireworks on that Sunday night game right here on NBC and Peacock. Of course, I'm a company man. No team has given up more passing yards this year than the Baltimore Ravens. So I think Hayden Hurst is a guy. And then Irv Smith. Irv Smith of the Minnesota Vikings. Listen, it's not a primetime game for Kirk Cousins. We should be okay. They're at home against the Bears. The Bears have played better pass defense because it's just so easy to run on them. But Irv Smith is 54% available, and I think that the narrative on him is somewhat different. If he'd caught that 50-yard bomb against Philly as well. Finally, last one I'll mention here, Will Dissly has 12 or more fantasy points in 3 or 4 games this season. He scored in all 3. He's a little bit touchdown dependent, but name a tight end that isn't. Tough matchup on the road at New Orleans, but we're all sort of buying into Geno. Honestly, at this point of the season, who would you rather have, Geno Smith or Russell Wilson?
You'd rather have Geno Smith right now. I think you'd rather have Teddy Bridgewater as well. Obviously, you'd rather have Wilson, I guess, going forward in terms of projecting him, but for next week, until he figures himself out.
I'm going to say something crazy.
Oh, no, Drew Lock.
I'd rather have Carson Wentz.
Yeah, no, that's not crazy at all.
I'd rather have Carson. I know we're 1-3.
Wentz is better.
I'd rather have Carson Wentz.
He's a better
I'd rather be 1-3 with Carson Wentz than 2-2 with, or I guess 2-3 now with Russell Wilson. Let's move on to
mon-ra St. Brown, who returned to practice with his ankle injury.
Yeah. Now Dan Campbell said earlier in the week that basically Friday's practice would determine who would play against the Patriots this week. He hasn't officially been ruled in the game, but certainly a very positive sign for mon-ra St. Brown, who I think if he's active against the Patriots, I think you're starting him, especially given the fact that the bye is next week. I can't imagine the Lions, because he's such an important part of their offense, I don't think the Lions are throwing him out there to decoy and risk further injury to mon-ra St. Brown. So I think if he's active, I think you can safely start him. Of course, we'll talk more about this Sunday morning, Fantasy Football pregame, 11 a.m. Eastern, all the way until kickoff right here on Peacock. I'm a company man.
The Josh Reynolds show might be over if mon-ra St. Brown does suit up.
But we are getting Hawkinson and DJ Shark also practice as well. No DeAndre Swift. It's going to be another Jamal Williams week at the running back spot.
Let's close out with Hunter Renfrow, who shed the non-contact jersey coming back from a concussion. Would you be starting him if he is cleared to play, as looks like he's going to be?
I'm at wide receiver 37. In a deeper league, I suppose. I need to see it. Again, the Raiders' offense has been a little bit inconsistent so far. We expect a ton of points to be scored against Kansas City on Monday night. But again, you've got Waller. It's been hard to get him going. Obviously, you expect Devontae Adams. Matt Collins has become a thing.
Yeah.
So it's just how many balls are there to spread around? Again, I like Renfrow as a player. we haven't really seen fantasy production from him this year. He's been banged up. Wide receiver 37. Sort of, if you have multiple wide receivers that are in my top 36, he would start them. But if not, all depends on who you have. So I'm not must starting him. He's a wide receiver 4 with upside.
Yeah, he had 10 targets in his last game against Arizona, so that is something to hold on to.
Sure.
That he did have that.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, okay? Respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.